is a big ongoing incident taking place. And as you've been hearing, there is major disorder in Leeds currently. And I am joined now by GB News' Home and Security Editor, Mark White. Mark, we are seeing some astonishing footage coming out, which appears to indicate a variety of different things being set on fire, riot police being roped in. What on earth is going on in Leeds?
Well, now we're seeing significant disorder in Leeds. This was an incident that unfolded a few hours ago, actually at 5 o'clock this evening at an address in Luxor Street, which is in the Hare Hills area of Leeds. Police were called there to assist what they've described as agency workers involved in an altercation involving some children. From that point, it seems to have escalated with other groups of people involved in that trouble and that disorder. From that point, West Yorkshire Police said that they called in reinforcements, and it seems really only to have spiralled from there. We saw some quite significant scenes of disorder, with a police car being smashed up by residents and being tipped onto its side. And then just in the last half an hour, another escalation with a double-decker bus in that area of Hare Hills, which has now been set on fire and is ablaze, with hundreds of people out in that community. It seems word has clearly got out on social media, and many people in that area, and perhaps a bit further afield in Leeds, have gone to that location, some of them clearly involved in this disorder. It has all the potential for escalating further. We've seen these kind of riot situations develop before, and they can gain what's called a critical mass. When enough people are there, when they're effectively worked up enough, and they start targeting the likes of vehicles that are not connected, for instance, to the police, like the double-decker bus we're seeing, and then perhaps onto buildings and the like. There are significant West Yorkshire Police reinforcements now on scene. Now, the latest statement that they put out was a couple of hours ago. At that point, they were saying there are no reports of injuries. Whether that has changed in the hours since then, well, they clearly have not put out any updated statement, but it's very volatile on the ground, violent, significant disorder, and has all the potential to escalate even further.
Yeah, Mark, absolutely. This has kicked on from, a few hours ago, where it was a gathering, if that's the right word for it, in the street, and we saw the police car being overturned and kicked in, to, it appears, a variety of different things, potentially including vehicles being set on fire, reports, and they are just reports, fireworks being fired around the place. Mark, have the police lost control of this?
Well, it depends by what you mean, lost control. I'm not sure they're exactly in control at the moment, but that is a tried and tested police tactic, actually, is not to go in and have a full-on fight with those involved as a disorder unless they're actually risking someone's life. Other people are at threat of serious harm. So what you often get with the police is they tend to sort of regroup, hold back a bit, try to contain the situation, hope that eventually these people will tire themselves out. But of course, if it escalates further, then the police reinforcements that are coming in, at some point there will be a decision made, I'm sure, to move in and try, if they can, to control the situation and make arrests. You were mentioning fireworks there. I saw that. We've been monitoring a few of the live feeds from social media of people at the scene, and absolutely there are fires that have been lit on the street separate from that bus that's on fire, bonfires effectively in the middle of the street, and fireworks that have been sending rockets off into the air as well. One of the big problems, Patrick, that the police have these days, and I saw it first emerging back in 2011 after the death of Mark Duggan in London that sparked those riots up in Tottenham that then spread, of course, throughout London and to other places in England as well. One of the big problems they started to encounter there was the social media, and then back then it was BlackBerry Messenger, and people were messaging each other on BlackBerry and they were just assembling at different locations to carry out disorder. Well, social media has advanced very significantly since then with these live streams and videos. People are seeing that and they're flooding this area, which just is much more problematic and worrying for the police.
Yeah, and again, look, just for the sake of our radio listeners, we are looking at, as Mark was saying, buses being set on fire, fireworks in the streets, bonfires in the streets, police cars being overturned and smashed up. What appears to me to be there anyway, what's on the screen at the moment, is that the fire is perilously close to a shop, I would say, as well, and potentially a couple of kind of kebab-style restaurants that are there. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of people out in the street. You mentioned there the use of social media, Mark. And just to clarify again, Mark, I'm sorry to make you repeat yourself, but I think it's important. Why do we think this started?
Well, it appears to have been a call for assistance from agency workers. What they quite mean by agency workers, I'm not sure whether that was social workers or people involved in social housing or something like that. Clearly at an address in this street, Luxor Street, which is in the Hare Hills area of Leeds, that apparently descended into disorder with risk to those workers, these agency staff who called in police support. There were reports of children being involved. Again, we don't know if that was a confrontation with children or if these agency workers were in the process of trying to recover children. We just don't know at this stage. I'm sure that will come out clearly in the hours ahead. But that call for assistance really disintegrated quite significantly in the period of just an hour, where a few people became a dozen people, became several dozen people, then it morphed into hundreds, and now we are looking potentially, because we've seen very crowded pictures in some of the videos, potentially up to 1,000 or more in this area, and more people arriving all of the time. Of course, it's now dark out in the streets of Hare Hills as well, which gives people that want to cause some kind of disorder and destruction that kind of cover of darkness as well. Yeah. So a lot of concern in the hours ahead for the police.
100%. Look, Mark, thank you very, very much for picking your way through what is quite a complicated and very much ongoing incident. There's Mark White there, as GB News' Home and Security Editor. We are going to be giving you more updates as this, well, it's not going away anytime soon, this incident in Leeds.